Hello there, everyone. My name is Nathan Birch. So just now we went ahead and did the Hello World inside of Visual Studio Code using the Code Runner extension. Now what we're going to do is do an HTML. Okay, so we're going to add a hello.html file, and we're just going to kind of go through these steps here. So let me open up our text editor here. So here's where we ended with our last one. I'm going to go ahead and make a hello.html file. And here's this here. Now, I usually don't write up all of my HTML from scratch. I'll type in an exclamation mark and hit tab or enter or click here. And it'll kind of generate this little template for me. Okay. Now, if I run this, I could go ahead and put a paragraph tag here and say this is a paragraph and hit save. And what I could do is I could right click on this and hit, where'd it go? Oh, up here. I could right click on the file name and hit copy path. And then I could put this into my browser and it'll run it. See, this is a paragraph. It worked out great. But what's really nice is there's an extension called Live Server, which is this guy right here. I already have it installed. If you don't, go ahead and hit the blue install button. That'll be right here. And what that will do, let me show you. So I'll hit open with Live Server. And it'll take a sec, but it'll generate this little web server. And so this looks really similar, except this is different. It's not like a file path on my computer now. It's actually a port that's running this web application. But the nice thing is if this is over here, let me actually just split this real quick. Let's say I copy this a few times and hit save. The browser will just automatically update it, which is amazing. Okay, so I would encourage you to use the Live Server extension. Now, we want to be able to say hello world with this thing, and our hello code is right here. Okay, so first we need to somehow connect these files. So I'm just going to go to Google, and I'm going to say, let's see, HTML JavaScript source. Now let's see if we get like a W3 school. Yeah, HTML script source attribute. Okay, so if you look in here, W3 Schools is great because they have all these like little try it editors. I could type something in here if I wanted to and hit run and it would pop up right there. Okay, pretty slick. But this is what I want to point out. Okay, if we want to include a JavaScript file in our HTML code, we need a script tag with a source, which in our case we'll say hello.js because that's the name of our file. So I'm going to copy this. Whoops. I'm going to copy this. And I'll come right over here, hit end and enter and paste. I'm going to put this script closing tag right there, and this will just say hello. All right, now I'm going to hit save. Now this should, I'm going to go ahead and close these. This should have already updated this, and I'm going to test this by hitting F12, or you can right click and hit inspect. This opens up our developer tools. And we have a lot of different things going on here. One, I can see each different HTML element in here. So you can see I have like 6 paragraphs that all say this is a paragraph. Here's the body. Here's the head. You know, this is my code, right? We just put this script thing in there. But if I click on console or look down here, you can see we have that console log that we saw inside of Visual Studio Code. All right, and if we look over there, we say console.log. And so it will log this text to the console, which it did. Pretty sweet, right? So it means that we don't have an error trying to run this. If there was an error, let's say, you know, I had a typo or something, it would have this error. It says, hey, you know, we didn't find that file. Okay, and I know that there was an issue. And I'll be like, oh yeah, it's just hello.js or whatever. And then you can see it ran that code. But let's go ahead and try one other thing, because usually users aren't going to have the developer tools open, right? So let's go ahead and close that. And I want to be able to say hello world right here so that everyone in the world can see it. So I'm going to come back to my JavaScript file, and I can leave that there. It doesn't really make a difference. And I'll go ahead and type in alert. This little pop-up right here is suggesting things that I might want to use. Alert is what I want to use. So I'm just going to hit tab the same way that I did for the exclamation mark, and it went ahead and auto-completed that for me. I'm going to add parentheses, and inside of the alert function, I can go ahead and add a string, just like I did with the console log up above. Okay, so I'm going to save that, run it, and you can see now it says hello world for the world to see. So anyways, that is it for this video. I hope that that was helpful for you. Again, looking back at my files, I only have this hello.html and this hello.js. I used an alert function in JavaScript to have that pop up. And to connect the JavaScript to my HTML file, I just needed this script tag with the JavaScript file in there. So anyways, hope this helped, and I'll talk to y'all soon.